our habeas corpus clauses. So we are now in the state of martial law. Everything is now putting conditions for a total war state. I mean, McCain called for the whole America becoming part of the so-called battlefield. America is now a battlefield. The whole earth is a battlefield. So rather than trying, I'm worried that what's being done is that rather than trying to address our continued economic depression and the reforms necessary domestically, what we're trying to do then is create a martial law state using Iran as the terrorist enemy or threat. So you see everything is now in motion as a pretext that you can go to martial law here and war abroad. And obviously the war abroad has tremendous consequences, not only because if you attack Iran, Hezbollah and Hamas can unleash on Israel, which then brings America and potentially Russia into the equation. So this is we're in a horrible situation and people are not being educated as to what's really going on.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, that's pretty much the last of it. I think what we're going to do is, well, we're going to open up the phone lines. And I have one more video here that you might find kind of interesting. Did you know that there was a electronics expert, or I think that's what he was, who found a way to sneak through the TSA full-body scanners. He showed you can carry metal objects right through and it didn't even show up. And it turns out that the background of the imagery is black. And when you have a gun or something metal in front of your lighter shaped body, the gun is black also, so you see it against the body. But if it's on the side, black blends into the black background and you just walk through. And he showed it on the clip. We're going to go ahead and see if I can find that part of it. And yeah, there, I hit it really well. Just a minute, let me find it here. Okay, go ahead and turn over to it now. Go ahead.
Because I want the world to know how much danger the American Transportation Security Administration is putting us all in with their haste to deploy the expensive, invasive nude body scanner program. When the machines came out, we were told that the invasion of our privacy, doses of radiation, and trashing of our Constitution were necessary because the old metal detectors weren't good enough, that non-metallic explosives were a threat, even though no one has boarded a plane in the U.S. with any type of explosive in nearly 40 years. But while America was testing these devices, Rafi Stella, who ran security for Ben Gurion Airport in Israel, which is known for being one of the most secure airports in the world, was quoted as saying he could overcome the body scanners with enough explosives to take down a Boeing 747. And Ben Gurion therefore refused to buy the scanners. The U.S. ignored this warning, and Mr. Stella has never publicly explained his statement, but it stuck with me. As a scientist, engineer, and frequent traveler, as well as the first person to sue the TSA when they rolled out the scanners as primary in November of 2010, I studied and learned about both kinds of scanners used by the TSA. Here are several images produced by TSA nude body scanners. You'll see that the search victim is drawn with light colors and placed on a black background in both images. In these samples, the individuals are concealing metallic objects that you can see as a black shape on their light figure. Again, that's light figure, black background, and black threat items. Yes, that's right. If you have a metallic object on your side, it will be the same color as the background and therefore completely invisible to both visual and automated inspection. It can't possibly be that easy to beat the TSA's billion-dollar fleet of nude body scanners, right? The TSA can't be that stupid, can they? Unfortunately, they can, and they are. To put it to the test, I bought a sewing kit from the dollar store, broke out my 8th grade home ec skills, and sewed a pocket directly on the side of a shirt. Then I took a random metallic object, in this case, a heavy metal carrying case that would easily alarm any of the old metal detectors, and I walked through a backscatter X-ray at Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport. On video, of course. While I'm not about to win any videography awards for my hidden camera footage, you can watch as I walk through the security line with the metal object in my new side pocket. My camera gets placed on the conveyor belt and goes through its own X-ray, and when it comes out, I'm through, and the object never left my pocket. Maybe just a fluke. Okay, let's try again at Cleveland Hopkins International Airport through one of the TSA's newest machines, a millimeter wave scanner with automated threat detection built in. With the metallic object in my side pocket, I enter the security line, my device goes through its own X-ray, I pass through, and I exit with the object without any complaints from the TSA. And while I carried the middle case empty, by one of malintent it could have easily been filled with razor blades, explosives, or one of Charlie Sheen's infamous 7-gram rocks of cocaine. With a bit
We've got a call waiting now, but I thought I'd play that video because guess what? The Homeland Security has asked Google or YouTube to block that video, and that's just what they're doing. This was only available at the InfoWars website for a while, and when I went there to get it again, it was gone. Luckily, I still had my original copy when I downloaded it the first time. You might find it out there. Lots of people are reloading it, and putting it up under the name of, does she love me or does she not? And, just weird names so that it's out there. But pretty soon they're going to find it by that video algorithm. Anyway, hey, caller, can you hear us?
Yes, I think so.
Okay, go ahead. What have you got to say?
Well, I've watched this show a few times, and as a sort of avid 9/11 conspiracy theorist since day one, I'm just curious what it is we really should do. If we had 1 million viewers who really believed, it'd still be 1 million versus 350 million citizens. There's nothing you can do.
What do you mean nothing you can do? 1 million can convince more, but more than that, 1 million can start an initiative petition in Oregon to force an Oregon investigation of 9/11. What do you think about that? That's enough people to sign a petition to get it on the ballot. It's amazing. It doesn't take very much to get it going, and people are beginning to wake up big time about this. We're not just alone anymore. We don't have to say, what can I do? It's being done. I rarely talk to people that think 9/11 was the official story anymore. Of course, I don't exactly hang in circles like that, but so it's not exactly a scientific cross section. But I used to get, when I started this show, I got a lot of calls from people that said, how rotten I was, what a non-American, and so on. But now I get calls from people who say, man, I'm in military intelligence, and you're right on, or I'm an active soldier somewhere, and I wish I could say something, but I watch your show all the time. And, I get stuff like that now instead of the negative. Maybe the negative people are just getting tired, but what do you think?
I think using their system to try and change their rules is probably almost impossible.
Well, it's okay, sue Caesar in Caesar's court. Okay, I understand.
You know what I mean? Would it be better to hire an outside country to try and condemn?
On the other hand,
government?
I remember years ago, like the church investigation of the Watergate scandal and other things, and that type of outrage is what we ought to be feeling now. But I know we could have. And back then, I remember feeling that the church investigation was not adequate. And right now, I would welcome that level of investigation about 9/11. The main thing is, it's got to become apparent now that 9/11 was a tool of the same people that are bringing us these wars, the same people that are devaluing our dollar, the same people that are, strip mining everything of value in our country. And the old question that people always throw up is, I can't believe that an American would do that, or our government would do that to 3,000 people. Kill our own people? They kill anybody that gets in the way. They don't care who they are. Look at the mass slaughter we're doing all over Northern Africa and, Middle East there, without any justification. Every excuse we use is some fabrication based on some lie. And everybody is beginning to understand that. The lies are falling on deaf ears. I don't know. You got an opinion?
Well, all I can say is it all starts with information. It starts with knowledge and getting the word out and spreading it, and action follows. You have to develop the information and the knowledge and take it where it goes. And we can see that the knowledge is spreading. And events will escalate as the powers that be and that are in control of our government begin to overextend themselves. There will be changes that come in society and in the public marketplace, which will perhaps precipitate change.
And people who are in, traditional powerful positions of, in their social position, are beginning to be drawn into it by the economic situation, and they're beginning to look around and see that they have a vested interest. Now, there are a lot of old folks like me that were fed the American dream all the way as we're growing up about America being a force for truth and justice, and Americans are righteous and just people. Well, the people are righteous and just. Our government is treacherous. But those people like me who, really want America to be something to be proud of are not going to take this lying down. They're going to see, like the clip said, China has just written a bill like the NDAA, modeling it after ours, because remember back when, well, you can't remember as far as I do, but when I was going to school, they taught us about the Declaration of Independence and what a document it was. That it was so good that when France declared its independence from its monarchy, they wrote a virtual duplicate of the Declaration of Independence. What a proud thing that was. If only the Declaration of Independence was a binding document in our country.
Yeah.
It's just an historical document. It has no legal standing whatsoever. Well, are you still there, caller?
Oh, yeah. I had one quick question for your construction apprentice or assistant,
yeah,
I should say.
Yeah, Greg,
Yeah,
go ahead.
Greg.
Do you have access to an actual pricing scheme for the demolition company? And could you figure out what it would have cost to destroy those buildings and backtrack somewhere through stocks, bonds, trades, where huge amounts of money had gone to that company to pay for it?
Yeah, somebody's got a purchase order for 3 buildings worth of explosives.
Well, I do know that the estimated cleanup and reconstruction cost for the entire World Trade Center complex after 9/11 was $38 or $39 billion. I've also heard that Controlled Demolition Incorporated, which cleaned up the site at the World Trade Center, received $3 billion for their work. I don't know beyond that, and
you have to find out what it would cost to legally do it, and then multiply that by some factor for the illegality of it.
Yeah. Now, I seem to recall that there may have been an actual cost
24
for the company of Controlled Demolition Incorporated to do the actual work at the Trade Center. May have been $750 million.
Okay, we got 10 seconds.
I don't have confirmation on that figure, though.
Our next show's on the 24th, and I'll put this on YouTube, and we'll see if the Russia Today clip gets us censored.